All right, well, I haven't finished putting away all my mess here yet, but I'm going to start loading up the luggage. At least test fitting stuff and figuring out how it's going to go on the Ryker, because this is its first real road trip. Everyone always talks about the comfort seat and whether it's any good and this and that. The Ryker, the rally seat is apparently thicker than the standard 600 and the 900. I don't know if that's the case. I haven't really put my butt on the other ones much to pay attention, but it is very cushy. However, I have this Airhawk Cruiser pad that I use for the scooters when I do long trips. I've never really tried it on this bike. I don't think it fits this quite right, but I could probably make it work. But it does fit very well on my CB500F and on my other sport bikes. So anyway, I just dragged it out of the garage, and would you look at that? It looks like it was made to fit. So I just have to figure out the strap arrangement, how I would get the straps around there, behind there somehow, if it's possible or not. So I might try that out this trip. It doesn't take me 2 hours to figure out how to fit it. Normally the straps underneath it go in an X arrangement, and you just air it up with a few puffs of air. You don't want it firm, you want it pretty loose, and it just helps give you some air circulation underneath it and reduce any pressure points. So the straps normally just crisscross like this underneath, but I don't know how I'm going to get them to crisscross underneath that. Might be possible. I'll see. Doesn't look like I'm going to be in the way of anything, but it's going to be a weird arrangement. I'll figure it out. If it can be done, I'll do it. If not, I'm not going to worry about it. This is comfortable enough for me. The next thing that's going on the back, I don't have my adapter plate fabricated yet. That's still in progress. This thing is still dirty from my last ADV trip. Twisted throttle drybag, DrySpec is what they call them now. They're just DrySpec. This is the, I can't even remember how big it is, 38 liter, I think, something like that. It's part of the kit. The other top bag is there, and it straps to the top of it. And how these guys work is these cam buckle straps that, cam buckle straps that cinch down to your bike and then lock up in here, and you just tension it to hold it exactly where you want it. Eventually, when I have a bigger plate on the back of this guy that's a little bit wider and a little bit longer, this will have a home a little further back here like this. But for now, I think I'm just going to let it hang off. I don't care. It does have structural reinforcement inside the bag. It's got a plastic reinforcement liner to help it hold its shape. So that also means that it'll help it hold its shape hanging off. Looks good to me. I'm going to give it a shot. See how it works. So I'm going to take an intermission here for a second, figure this out, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I think I have a solution for this. Normally you've got multiple tie-down points that are going kind of straight down to help locate the bag, but because this plate, or this mounting system here is too short, and we don't have any tie-down points, or symmetrical ones anyway, I just made do. So there's a little space behind the seat right here, and a little fender that loops back around, so I just cinched up one of the cam straps there, and that's going to the front. I've got it pulled pretty short to keep it up here, and it's just going to become my backrest as it gets loaded out. The bag is still empty right now. The other one is the same way. The rear is the problem because there's nowhere really to tie down to except the back of the pannier mount. So I just looped around that guy, and because the strap is just thin, the camera, the strap is just thin canvas, or nylon rather, it doesn't take up much space. So there's still enough room for the bag to go on right here, flush against it, and that strap kind of rides in this area here. So that's not going to hurt anything. So that guy will go here, and we just kind of maneuver her on there and lock her down. And that's done. Now the last one was the tricky one because there's nothing to tie down to over here. The swing arm is a moving piece. Obviously we can't do that. and there's nothing to tie off to here. So what I did is I just took the strap diagonally from this corner forward to about the middle of the bag itself on this side. So it's just hanging on right here by the edge of the fender, or the back edge of the fender, but the diagonal is sharp enough that it's not going to come out of here easily. And all it's really going to be doing is just locating the bag side to side. If I pull this way, it tightens the strap and doesn't let it go any further this way. If I go this way, it's against the strap that way and this front corner, so it's not going anywhere. It's loose right now because it's not loaded down, and it does have the ability to slide forward because we're not tying diagonally back, but I'm going to be sitting there. So it can't go anywhere, and it can't come any further back than this because the front straps are going to be the limit. And that makes a nice backrest for me. So all the camping gear, tent, cookware, everything is going to go in that. I'll save the side bag for whatever. I probably don't even need the side bag today, the saddlebag, not for this trip anyway. But anyway, we'll load that up. I'm going to store my helmet in here at night or whatever. Maybe I'll put my clothes in here and all the camping gear in there. That's what I'll do. And then there's a second roll bag for this guy that you shove all your stuff in it. It's, elongated, kind of like a pillow when you get it full of stuff. And then you roll the ends up to make it watertight, and it lashes to the top of this one. So you end up with a bag system that's about that tall. But I don't need that on here. Not this time, anyway. So that's going to be its road look right there. All of my sleeping equipment, full camp, everything fits in this bag alone. I've done that dozens and dozens of times, so I know exactly what fits in there. I'll go through the loadout on that here shortly. There was another YouTube viewer that was asking for a minimal loadout. They want to do backpack style camping, moto camping on the Ryker. I don't have any good moto backpacks, but what I can tell you is if you intend on using a backpack with this bike, particularly if you have the max mount, the rise right here in the back is going to be in the way of your pack. So your pack is going to end up riding really high up on your shoulders and into the back of your helmet. So you have to have either a very small pack or do what I'm doing here, which is lash your pack to the max mount. Now, if you don't have the max mount, then you've just got the full fender that goes here, and then this is gone. So you would have kind of an open space, and your pack would probably end up resting, down near your butt, and would probably be resting right on top of the fender. So I don't know how strong the fender is on the other models, the non-rally versions, but just something to keep in mind, because the pack is generally going to sit down as low or lower than your butt level when you're seated on something like this, because you're not leaning forward, you're sitting more upright, and if you got your feet out, you're going to be more reclined, so that makes the back of the pack drop even lower. So anyway, I'll get to the loadout of what I take, what fits in this, kind of a minimalist setup, plus a couple of electronics goodies and whatnot, but it's not going to be a full glamping setup. We'll get into that. Okay, another little quick update. I just figured out a quick way to get the Airhawk on here. The giant hole in front of the seat here makes a nice little pass-through. So what I'm doing is just dangling my strap, if I can get that guy untwisted. I'm dangling my strap down through there and grabbing it off the top of the shock, and then just crisscrossing over to the other side. So got that guy on there. Crisscrossing to the other side, behind the seat and up around the outside, which doesn't bother me as long as it works. Where's my strap? Here it is. Just come right through the frame rails, above the monoshock. I can show you that routing, so I'm coming right through there. I need to reroute that one. I'm going around the shock hose. That's okay, that's easy to fix. So on this one, there's no shock hose to get in the way. And you just bring it up around and crissy-crossy. Game over. and then I can adjust the tension of it. I started with the straps full slack, and then to cinch them up, we'll just, drag the slack out of them a little bit. I suppose I could turn that around and have the slack on this end. It doesn't really matter as long as I get it set up. So let's see how that works. That's not ideal because the strap kind of should go around this way, but, it's not bad. I don't think there's another way to get it down there. I gotta undo this one anyway. Let's see what we can do. These hooks are pretty good at doing their job. They hang onto that strap real well. The curled lip on it right there keeps you from sliding the thing off of there. There we go. Alright, so let's go around this guy. I need to rethink my plan here. No, there it is. Yeah, there's more stuff there. So for the passenger foot peg, I thought the passenger foot peg went in back here somewhere. What is that? Huh, interesting. Yeah, so even better. Come around the outside. Come around the outside, and then everything is just fine and dandy. That's what I'll do. So strike my first idea. Not down through the center hole. That was just a trial run. Get off. Get off, get off, get off, get off. Get off! Oh my god, these hooks work really well. Like, too well. Get off. Okay. So now that I've gotten that guy, so I can find him. Yep, there he is. And I'll just go completely crisscross underneath like that. And it's not in the way of anything. Flatten out, thank you. And there she goes. Look at that. So now she's got a comfort seat strapped to her. Close this up so the bladder doesn't walk away. Which it already is. My bad, my bad. Get in. And then you have to give it a blowjob. Okay then. Okay, so just unscrew that little valve stem looking thing there and give her a few puffs. What I usually do is one full breath and then I just kind of let the pressure out of it. And then that's probably still too much, so I'll sit on it. Yeah, that's too puffy. I sit on it and let a little bit more air out. It should have just a little bit of air in it, enough to inflate the little bubbles, but not so much that it's firm, because you want it to give. That's it. So now it's Ryker Hawk. Oh, that's long haul comfy right there, ladies and germs. A little more air out of that. There we go. Put a little more air out of it, and we're done. Oh yeah, it's gonna be all day comfortable. Okay, good stuff. So now I'll do the loadout on the tail bag, and away we go. Getting a very late start today.